Are you thinking about making the move to South Surrey, or you're just interested in learning a little bit more about the community? Well, the good news for you is that you're in the right place, because in this video I'm going to tell you absolutely everything you need to know about South Surrey. I'm going to start it off with a general overview, break down each and every neighborhood, talk about parks, amenities, schools, home prices, rent prices, and so much more. So don't go anywhere. What's going on, guys? My name's Alex Dunbar and I'm a local realtor based out of the Surrey area. And in today's video, I'm going to be focusing on South Surrey. If this is your first time on my channel, I make weekly real estate videos pertaining to the BC and Canadian real estate market, as well as showcase community tours across the Lower Mainland. So if that's something you're interested in seeing more of, I suggest you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you're notified whenever I come out with a new video. Recently, I've been having a ton of you reach out to me that are interested in moving to Surrey or just chatting about real estate by phone, text, email, or any other way, and I absolutely love it. So if after watching today's video that is something you're interested in discussing, you can scroll down and hit the first link in the description to book a call with me at your convenience. And just before we dive right into it, I'll ask that you do one thing for me, and that's to hit that thumbs up button so the algorithm will push this video out to more individuals just like yourself who want to learn more about South Surrey. And with that, let's take it away. So to start it off, I'm going to give you a bit of a general overview. South Surrey is the largest of the 6 town centers by landmass. It's a desirable and thriving suburban area that's growing quickly. South Surrey offers stunning beaches, mountain views, history, and expansive farmland. As part of the second largest city in BC by population, South Surrey benefits from excellent school and recreational services. And even with the large amount of development that's gone on over the past number of years, it still maintains its unique identity as a quiet community with big spaces and beautiful properties, away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Recreation is everywhere you look, with beach walks, an urban forest, and sports facilities that are a destination for the entire Lower Mainland. Additionally, the average household income is the highest out of the 6 Surrey town centers. I should also mention that I'll be touching on White Rock briefly, which is its own city. And if you're unfamiliar, it's named after a large white boulder on its beach near the promenade. White Rock is home to nearly 20,000 people and features popular beaches, cafes, restaurants, and shops. Moving on, let's talk about the location. South Surrey is bordered by the Pacific Ocean to the west and portions of the south, the city of White Rock and the border of the US also to the south, the township of Langley to the east, and 40th Avenue to the north, with Serpentine on the other side of it. In regards to White Rock, as I already mentioned, it's a separate distinct city and is bordered on 3 sides by South Surrey, with Crescent Beach and Ocean Park to the west, Sunnyside Park to the north, and King George Corridor to the north and east, and the Pacific Ocean to the south. Essentially, it runs west to east from 136 to 160th Street, and north to south from North Bluff Road or 16th Avenue to the Ocean or 8th Avenue. Next, I'm going to go over the different neighborhoods in South Surrey. Starting from the top left corner, we have Crescent Beach and Ocean Park, Elgin Chantrell, Morgan Creek, Sunnyside Park, King George Corridor, Grandview Heights, Pacific Douglas, Hazelmere, and as I already mentioned, White Rock. Next, I'd like to take a minute to touch on the time that it takes to drive to some of the surrounding cities. And because South Surrey is such a large area, we're just going to pick a central point to start from. So it's going to take you about 40 minutes to get to downtown Vancouver, 25 minutes to get to Richmond, 35 minutes to get to Burnaby, 20 minutes to get to Langley, 45 minutes to get to Abbotsford, 60 minutes to get to Chilliwack, 5 to 10 minutes to get to the US border, and 25 minutes to get to the Tsawwassen ferries. Moving on, let's talk about the housing. In comparison, South Surrey is more expensive than the rest of Surrey. You'll be able to find detached homes spread out across the entire community. However, the majority of the attached market, or condos and townhomes, is going to be found in the King George Corridor and Grandview Heights. And to further that point, I'd like to touch on some of the differences between each neighborhood and the types of homes you're going to be able to find. In Morgan Creek, you're going to be able to find detached homes that are not only large in size, but also sit on a large lot. There's also a decent amount of condos and townhomes, and they're primarily built after the year 2000. As far as Grandview Heights, there's also a ton of middle-aged detached homes. However, in recent years, there's also been a ton of new single-family homes built here. As far as condos and townhomes go, there is a large number, as I already mentioned, and the majority of them were built in the last 15 years. In regard to the King George Corridor, this is where you're going to find the majority of the condos and townhomes. And for the most part, they were all built from the 1990s on. Moving on to Pacific Douglas, here you're going to find some neighborhoods with some new detached homes. In regards to townhomes, there's only a handful of complexes, and they've all been built in the last 10 years. And as for condos, there's currently none. However, there are some projects set to complete in the year 2024. Moving on to Sunnyside Park, you're going to be able to find a good mixture of detached homes, as well as a decent amount of condos and townhomes. However, however they're primarily on the older side here. Moving on to 𝐁𝐵𝐷𝐿𝐴, this is almost solely detached homes and acreages. There is one townhome complex, but there's currently no condos. Moving on to Crescent Beach and Ocean Park, there's a good amount and variety of detached homes here, but primarily without basement suites. There are a few condo and townhome buildings, however the majority of them are over 30 years old. And lastly, we've got Elgin-Chantrell. Once again, a good variety of detached homes, as well as a good mix of condos and townhomes, however there's not a ton. And of course, not to leave out White Rock. Here you're going to be able to find some beautiful detached homes along the water, however they're going to come at a price. And as far as condos and townhomes, there are a large number of condos, however not too many townhomes. And the condos are primarily on the older end, however there is some newer stuff as well. But again, due to its proximity to the ocean, most of it's going to come at a premium. Moving on, let's take a look at home prices. And just something to note here is that the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board actually groups South Surrey and White Rock together. So this is the benchmark price of both areas combined. Currently, the benchmark price for detached homes is $1.898 million, townhomes are $925,000, and condos are $583,000. All three property types being more expensive in comparison to the rest of Surrey. And of course, depending on when you watch this video, there's a good chance that prices have likely changed, so I will leave a link down in the description with current prices. Moving on, let's take a look at the rental market. And surprise, surprise, on average, it's more expensive than the rest of Surrey. You're going to be able to find the most rental-friendly areas along the King George corridor, as well as Grandview Heights. And the least rental-friendly area is definitely White Rock, which has a ton of restrictions both on age and rentals. Moving on to the average rental prices. For a one-bed condo, you're going to be looking at between $1,700 and $1,800. For a two-bed condo, you're going to be looking at between $2,500 and $2,600. For a two-bed basement suite, you'll get a slight discount at around $1,600. And for a three-bed townhouse, you're looking at about $3,000 and up. And of course, these numbers will vary based on the age and size of the unit. Moving on, let's take a look at the weather. In South Surrey, the summers don't get too hot, they're just comfortable and sometimes partly cloudy. And in the winter time, it doesn't get much snow, it's typically just cold, wet, and cloudy. Over the course of the year, the temperature typically varies between 1 degree and 24 degrees Celsius, and rarely reaches below -6 degrees or over 28 degrees. The warm season lasts for about 3 months from mid-June to mid-September, with the average daily high temperature of about 20 degrees. The hottest month of the year is July, with an average high of 23 degrees and an average low of 13, and the cool season lasts for just over 3 months from the middle of November to the last week of February. During this time, the average daily high is typically below 9 degrees. The coldest month of the year is December, with an average daily low of 1 degree and an average daily high of 6 degrees. And overall, South Surrey on average is sunnier than both the rest of Surrey as well as Vancouver, and also typically gets less snow. Next, let's take a look at the parks and outdoors. South Surrey has acres of urban forest, agricultural land, and parks. It's full of green spaces where you can enjoy the simplicity and beauty of nature. So now let me touch on a few of my favorite parks. First, you've got Redwood Park. This is the largest grove of redwood trees north of California. Here you'll find a large forest of exotic trees, 5 kilometers of nature trails, and picnic shelters. As for the kids, they're gonna love the playground, rustic treehouse, and the fairy tale forest. Next, we've got the Elgin Heritage Park. This is a very popular location featuring a gorgeous wetland, meadow, forested area, and marina. The nature trail through the park is about 3 kilometers long and takes around an hour to complete. It's also home to the historic Stewart Heritage Farm. This is the only intact farm complex from the late 19th century in all of Surrey. Stewart Farm provides a valuable illustration of pioneer life and demonstrates important aspects of Surrey's agricultural heritage to the public. They host many events year-round, so be sure to check one of them out. Next, we've got the Boundary Bay Trail. This is a 20-kilometer path extending from Mud Bay in South Surrey to Centennial Beach in Tsawwassen, and this makes for a great bike ride, walk, or run. There's also some great birdwatching spots along the way, so make sure you keep an eye out. Next is the South Surrey Athletic Park. This is a large athletic park with tons of options for youth, kids, and families. The park offers facilities for soccer, football, rugby, baseball, tennis, pickleball, and volleyball. It also features a variety of pathways and walking loop, a BMX bike park, a playground, and a water park. Additionally, you'll find venues for indoor sports at the nearby South Surrey Recreation Centre and South Surrey Arena. South Surrey Athletic Park is also home to Softball City. This is one of North America's leading slow pitch and softball sporting facilities. It's regarded as one of the best field-to-play venues of its kind. The venue is a full-service sports and entertainment facility famous for its 4 championship caliber softball diamonds. Additionally, you'll be able to find an indoor restaurant and outdoor patios that overlook the 4 lit outdoor fields. And lastly, we have Blackie Spit Park. This park is named after the dramatic spit that extends into Mud Bay at the mouth of the Nipkomeckle River. This stunning beach features picnic areas, nature trails, and 2 fully fenced dog leash spaces. It also has amazing views of Mud Bay and the North Shore Mountains. mountains. Moving on, I can't forget to talk about the incredible beaches. First, we have Crescent Beach. Walking along the shoreline of Crescent Beach is rated as one of the top things to do in Surrey. This isn't surprising since there's 8 kilometers of sand to stroll upon and warm, shallow water if you want to dip your feet in. You can go swimming, paddleboarding, play volleyball, or even try your luck at crabbing. Of course, there's also the option to spend a relaxing day at the beach, whether you're enjoying a picnic lunch or building sandcastles. There's also some great dog-friendly beaches for your 4-legged friend too. And next we have the infamous White Rock Beach, and this is divided into the East Beach and the West Beach, separated by a rise in the shoreline that the locals call the Hump. West Beach is home to White Rock's famous pier. Here, it's not uncommon to see people jumping off into the deep, warm waters below, or dropping a line to try their luck at fishing. And with just a short walk over the Hump, this is going to take you to the East Beach, which is known as being a little quieter. This appeals to families looking to spend a day relaxing at the beach, building sandcastles, walking the beach at low tide, and enjoying a picnic lunch. And while you're here, you're definitely going to want to check out Moby Dick's for their fish and chips. Next, I want to quickly touch on the handful of golf courses that are found in South Surrey. The most notable one here is definitely Morgan Creek, and this is the best golf course in all of Surrey in my opinion. Open year round, Morgan Creek offers an immaculately well-maintained 18-hole championship length course, indoor and outdoor practice facilities, and a top-notch restaurant. But make sure you bring your A game because it's not necessarily going to be that cheap. Additionally, you've got the Hills at Portal Golf Club, Hazelmere, Nico Wind, and the Meridian Hills Par 3. So there's really something that fits everyone's price point as well as skill level. Next, let's take a look at the schools. Naturally, education is a key consideration for parents with kids, and South Surrey offers both excellent public and private schools. The South Surrey White Rock area includes 20 public schools and 3 private schools. The private schools being Star of the Sea, South Ridge, and White Rock Christian Academy. Star of the Sea is a Catholic elementary school offering grades K to 7. Next, we have South Ridge, which offers grades K to 12 and is definitely the most notable school. And year after year, they're consistently rated a top IB private school. Many graduates go on to attend top universities around the world, however, getting into the school won't necessarily be cheap. White Rock Christian Academy also offers grades K to 12, however the tuition is going to be about half that of South Ridge. They are also an IB school with a focus on 4 core programs. Those are academics, athletics, arts, and service. As for some additional honorable mentions, we have Semiahmoo Secondary, which has an IB diploma program, Earl Marriott Secondary, which has a great drama program, and lastly, the brand new Grandview Secondary School, which just opened last year. And I will leave a link down in the description if you'd like to explore some of the other schools in the area. Moving on, let's take a look at daycares. In South Surrey, there are a good number of daycares and preschools operating in the area that are more affordable and have shorter waiting lists than that of Vancouver. They are primarily centered around the King George corridor, but also scattered throughout the community. However, if you do plan to send your kids to daycare, make sure you apply early because they are shorter than Vancouver, however they still can be lengthy. Moving on, let's take a look at the amenities. South Surrey is home to several recreational facilities, and I just want to go over some of the most notable ones. First, we've got the Grandview Heights Aquatic Center. This features multiple pools, diving boards, slides, hot tub, steam room, sauna, weight room, and so much more. Next, we've got the South Surrey Recreation and Arts Center. Here you're going to find multi-purpose rooms, a dedicated art space, community and youth drop-in programs, fitness classes, a state-of-the-art weight room, gymnasium sports, tennis courts, and a preschool. And lastly, we've got the South Surrey Arena. This is home to the Surrey Eagles Junior A Hockey Club, and home to one of only 2 Olympic-sized rinks in the Lower Mainland. Next, let's take a look at the grocery stores. South Surrey's got pretty much everything you need except for a Costco. You've pretty much got all your staples. You're going to be able to find multiple Save-On Foods, Safeway, Thrifty Foods, Superstore, a Walmart Supercenter, and so much more. Next, let's move on to the stores and shopping. South Surrey is home to a few major hubs for shopping, which I'd like to touch on. First, we've got Grandview Corners. This is located at the intersection of 24th and 160th Street and is an unenclosed outdoor shopping area home to more than 85 brand name stores, featuring retailers such as Walmart, The Brick, Home Depot, and Indigo. Next, we've got the shops at Morgan Crossing. This is an outdoor shopping mall located in the heart of South Surrey, offering over 60 national and boutique style stores and services, ranging from a collection of independent retailers, fashion outlets, restaurants, and cafes. And lastly, we've got the South Point Exchange, and this is located in the King George corridor at 150th and 32nd. This is a high exposure shopping center anchored by Save-On Foods and Canadian Tire, offering more than 31 brand name stores. So as you can see, you're pretty much going to be able to find everything everything you need in South Surrey and you'll rarely have to leave the area. Next, let's take a look at the restaurants. There are way too many amazing restaurants to name, so I'm just gonna go over a few of my favorites. First, we've got the Afghan Kitchen. Here they deliver the authentic taste of Afghan cuisine through a number of classic creations. This includes options for meat lovers, vegans, and vegetarians. The restaurant itself is beautifully designed and decorated, and every detail from the decor to the flavors of the food are carefully curated. They were also nominated for the Best New Business by the Surrey Board of Trade in 2018. Next, we've got My Shanty. This place can't be missed from the street. It has thousands of reflective mirrors decorating the outside of the building. Their goal is to take you on a culinary journey to India while you stay right here in Surrey. The dishes are carefully crafted by famous chef 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐸, and the restaurant chefs are meant to represent the uniqueness of a particular region by mixing fine dining with home-cooked classics. Next, we've got 𝐁𝐨𝐨𝐤. Here you can get margaritas, carnitas, and everything in between. The owners bring the authentic taste of Mexican cuisine right here to Surrey. And with more than 9 different sauces to eat with your meal, this place is sure to pack a punch. Next, we've got the brand new Tap and Barrel. This is their most recent addition with 2 other locations in North Vancouver and Vancouver. This is a great place to grab food and drinks on a covered patio year-round. They serve a selection of drinks from BC's best wineries, craft breweries, and distilleries. This includes beer made at Brew Hall, their very own award-winning craft brewery. And lastly, we have 𝐬𝐸𝐬's. 𝐬𝐸𝐬's restaurant has been a staple on the White Rock Strip for over 30 years. They have a self-proclaimed eclectic Euro-inspired menu, which has evolved into a seasonal farm-to-table establishment that supports local butchers, bakers, and farmers. And you'll want to pair your meal with one of their quirky beers, uncommon wines, and prohibition cocktails. Next, let's take a look at what South Surrey has to offer for fitness. There are a variety of both indoor facilities and outdoor spaces to get your workout done. Some of the most notable being the South Surrey Recreation Centre, Grandview Heights Aquatic Centre, Fitness World, Club 16, and Anytime Fitness. Whether you're looking for a big commercial or public recreation center, or a small niche fitness facility, you're going to be able to find it. Next, I want to touch on the safety. South Surrey is an extremely safe community, and they've got some of the lowest crime rates across the entire city. They also have some fantastic Crime Watch Facebook groups, which I'll leave links to down in the description. But overall, the levels of crime, homelessness, and drug users is extremely low, and this should give you peace of mind. Next, let's move on to healthcare. So the closest hospital is going to be Peace Arch, which is only 10 minutes away, but you also have Surrey Memorial Hospital, which is only 20 to 25 minutes away. Additionally, you'll be able to find plenty of medical clinics in the area, and this is actually where my personal family doctor is located. Next, let's take a look at the walkability, and this is really going to depend on what community you live in and where you live in that community. I will cover this in more detail in some of my other videos that showcase specific neighborhoods, but for now I'll leave you with this. The most walkable communities are Grandview Heights, the King George Corridor, and White Rock, and the least walkable communities are Hazelmere and Pacific Douglas. Next, let's take a look at the transit. South Surrey is a very well-connected community. Highways in South Surrey include Highway 99, Highway 15, and King George Boulevard. South Surrey is also home to 2 major public transit exchanges. This is the South Surrey Park and Ride and White Rock Center, the latter of which is partially located in White Rock. The South Surrey Park and Ride is definitely the larger of the 2 and is located at King George Boulevard and Highway 99. Here you'll find 4 bus bays serviced by 5 bus routes, and these run between White Rock, Surrey, and Richmond with connection to the Canada Line and Expo Line for access to Vancouver. Unfortunately, there's no rapid transit in South Surrey. However, as I previously mentioned, you're about 20 minutes away from the SkyTrain, and if you're looking to catch a taxi or take an Uber, it's generally pretty easy and shouldn't take very long. Moving on, who is the area best for? First is going to be seniors. South Surrey and White Rock are known for having a slower pace of life than the rest of Surrey. Prior to all the more recent multifamily development, the area was known to be home to older, wealthier individuals. This still holds true to an extent, however, it's definitely become more diverse over time, which leads us into our next group, which is families. There is an abundance of young and growing families moving into the South Surrey area. With great schools, parks, and amenities, it's great for families at any stage, and has everything you need to grow into. And lastly is commuters. If you have to commute across the bridge into Vancouver every single day, this is an area you should definitely consider. And this is simply due to its accessibility of the highway and proximity to the SkyTrain. Highway 99 gives you access to the Peace Arch border crossing, downtown Vancouver, and surrounding areas of the Lower Mainland, all of which will make your life just that much easier. And just to summarize, I want to go over some of the highlights of the area. So first of all, it's the parks and outdoors. There are tons of great parks to choose from, whether you're looking for sports fields or walking trails. And don't forget about the amazing beaches. Next is the great amenities. South Surrey has some of the best amenities in all of Surrey, and the brand new Grandview Heights Aquatic Center is definitely the highlight here. Next is the stores and the shopping. There are tons of new stores and shopping areas that have been added to the area in recent years, and you're really going to be able to find everything you need without leaving town. And lastly is the education. South Surrey is known for its highly ranked public and private schools, and this is one of the major attractions for families with children. And before I end the video, I just want to cover a couple of things that you might not like. Number one being the fact that home prices are higher than the rest of Surrey. However, being one of the more prestigious parts of the city, it comes with the allure of the area. With its proximity to the ocean and all the other great things that South Surrey has to offer, it shouldn't come as a surprise to you, because as we all know, you get what you pay for. And lastly, it's further from the rest of the city and Highway 1. During rush hour, it can take you up to 45 minutes just to get from one side of Surrey to the other. And being the furthest part of Surrey away from Highway 1 can make it more challenging depending on the direction you're going. However, you do still have easy access to Highway 99 to get into Vancouver, so it really just depends what your day-to-day life looks like. And that's about going to do it for my video today, so if you did get any sort of value whatsoever, all I ask is that you hit that thumbs up button. And if you are interested in seeing more videos just like this one, I suggest you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you're notified whenever I come out with a new video. And lastly, if you are considering making the move to South Surrey and want to have a conversation or explore some of your options, you can scroll down and click the first link in the description to book a call with me at your own convenience. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you